Welcome to the Holistic Success Show. I'm Elizabeth Lozano.
And I'm Dr. Robert Puff. Today our guest is a top professional trainer in Los Angeles.
Dr. Puff is going to be teaching us how to heal when we've hurt others.
And a question from you about what do I do if my mind's very distracted all the time?
And our other question is about tapping into your creativity. Thank you so much for joining us on the Holistic Success Show, and we hope you enjoy the show.
I'd like to share a story with you today. One of my stories is a very sad story for me. When I was at university, after my first year, my parents sold their home, and we had 2 cats, and I love animals dearly, cats, dogs, all animals. And we had to get rid of the cats, and hard to say how it happened, but basically my parents said, you need to get rid of the cats. And at that time, I felt I had 2 options. I was young, but I felt I had 2 options. One was to take them to the pound, where they would have been put down. And I knew that would be the case because they didn't have claws, and I didn't know what to do, or find someone to take them. And I was not able to find anyone. I could have tried harder, but I did not find anyone. So what I did is I drove around, and I was living in Iowa at the time. And I just drove around because I just could not just give them up into the pound, and because they would kill them. So I wanted to just find a place where I could leave them. And it was just too hard for me to just go up to someone and say, could you take them? So I drove and drove and drove, and the tears were just coming down my eyes very, very powerfully. And I found a farm. I don't know why I stopped there, but I stopped. And I let both my cats out, and I left them there. And I remember when I left, one of the cats was in the middle of the street, and middle of the country road, and it was looking at me. And as you can tell, it brought up a lot of feelings for me. I didn't ask them if they could stay. I just left them there, and I drove away. And it was a very difficult thing for me because I felt unless the farmers there took them in, they most likely died, and that I was the cause of that. So why am I sharing this story with you? Because you too may go through life and have made mistakes. We do things wrong sometimes. And what I did was, instead of letting that ruin my life, which, when you hurt someone that you dearly love, and I love animals, so you have to put that in context. I love animals, and I love my cats. I allowed myself to do what I just did. I allowed myself to cry. I allowed myself to be sad because I'd made a mistake. And I actually drove back many times trying to find them. I was never able to find them again. So I never knew what happened to them. But after that, as I'm doing, I've shared it with people. I shared my story with people, what happened, so I could kind of cathartically get off my chest. And over the years, whenever I've seen other cats, I'm always very kind and very gracious. I've given lots of money over the years to cat societies and donated to them as a way of giving back. And I've worked towards forgiving myself because, I do make mistakes. And part of being healthy is forgiving yourself. So in the next clip of the episode, I want to talk about what you too can do when you've done something really tragic to another person and hurt someone, how you can heal from that and truly still have a beautiful life, even when you cause pain to others.
Our first question this week is from Nikki R. in Israel. I suspect I may have adult ADD. My mind is very scattered. I have wonderful creative ideas but never do anything about them. I work hard but get very little done, and once I start a career, I switch to a new one. I'm not interested in taking medications. Do you know of any techniques for organizing thoughts and activities that may be helpful?
Nikki, there are many things you can do to help your mind be stiller and more calm so you don't have to be on medication, but I want to suggest 3 things that you can do right away. I have found over the years that people that watch a lot of TV or video games, that are very interactive and engaging, have a harder time concentrating later. So perhaps for a little while limit that. Don't play things that are really very stimulating to give your mind a rest. I think that you'll find that very helpful. The second thing is I recommend exercise, particularly when you have to do a task. Do your task for a little bit and take a walk. Then do your task for a little bit and take a walk. What you'll find is that rhythm will give your mind a break, and you'll be able to be concentrating and to dissipate that energy, because a lot of it is built up inside energy. If you find ways to dissipate that energy, you'll be able to stay on task. And when I work with kids over the years that truly have ADHD or ADD, I have them often during recess go on walks around the gym or exercise as a way to get rid of that energy, and then they can stay focused throughout the day and they don't have to be on medication. And then the third thing that I really would recommend is meditation, because meditation can help you learn how to quiet your mind, and there's many ways of doing meditation. We have our podcast, as you know, so just work on meditating. Probably at first do a guided meditation, but you'll find that will help train your mind to be still.
All very great tips, Dr. Puff. I think some other kind of hands-on things that you can do is, one, get a calendar. If you don't have a calendar, it's really important so you can know what you have to do every day, because even me, if I didn't have my calendar, I don't know what I would do. So that's very important. Another good thing you can do is make lists and check them off as you get things done, because it is easy to get distracted, and once you get distracted, you forget what you had to do in the first place. Another thing that I like to do is, I'm the type of person who likes to have my hands kind of in everything, and maybe you're that type of person too. Don't think that you have to have one job that's so limited and specific, because you may get bored with that. Sometimes people who have ADD actually have brilliant minds, because you can be really creative and have all kinds of different ideas, but it's a matter of kind of honing them in and writing those things down as they come to you, or perhaps getting a little voice recorder so you can remember things. But it's okay to want to do different things. You just kind of have to figure out how to bring it all together in one. And I am definitely one of those people who've got lots of things that I do. I'm very artistic. I love doing this stuff as well. So that's definitely a plus.
Thank you for your question, Nikki. And just continue to walk, take care of yourself, meditate, and I think you'll find your mind will get quieter.
Thank you very much for your question. I'd like to welcome JJ Flizanes to the show. She's the director of Invisible Fitness and one of the top personal trainers in Los Angeles. She's appeared on many television stations here in the U.S., such as NBC, KTLA, CBS, and Fox 11. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about the work that you do and how we can help people stay fit and healthy?
Absolutely. Well, I work with people in several different ways, from lecturing to corporations and groups to working with individuals one-on-one, either on the phone or in person.
So what are most people doing wrong with their fitness or weight loss program, and what are some positive, healthy things that they can do?
That's a good question. What most people are doing wrong is they're really only focusing on the fitness and the exercise part. They're thinking of lack and limitation. They're thinking, what can I not eat? They're thinking about starvation. They're thinking about starvation diets.
Which causes them to kind of crash into eating more and doing all that stuff, right?
Right.
Or giving up.
Right, because they associate weight loss with how little can I eat? We have this programming in our minds that when it comes to getting healthy, that it's going to be painful and taste bad, and that it's going to be really hard, and that you're going to have to work out, and your muscles are going to be sore, and you're going to be tired, and it's just going to be so hard. And that's because in America, we have a lot of TV shows right now that show that, the only way to get fit and to get healthy is to kill yourself. And that's actually the opposite of what I teach and what my company teaches. We're really about changing your mindset, because you have an association with fitness and with exercise and with eating. And until you change the thoughts in your mind, which changes your relationship to food and exercise, you're never going to get long-term results, because it's always going to be running away from not wanting to be in pain. Or, there's this idea that food is a reward, and I'm going to eat this piece of food because it's going to make me feel better, and I deserve this. It's a different mind shift. So we use hypnosis. We use changing, again, your relationship with food and exercise. It's as simple as that. So I would say the biggest mistake people make is that they just think it's about going to the gym or just eliminating foods.
So it sounds like a lot of the problems that people have is kind of giving up on themselves as well. That's a huge part. Giving up on that hard work that's just, it's too much. I can't do it.
Right, because they're trying to do too much too soon. They want this whole entire lifestyle shift. Guys, if you want to change your life, you have to take step by step by step. You wouldn't have a child and then expect the child to run in the first 3 months, right? Right? You would expect the child to crawl and then lift their head up and then maybe start to take some steps and fall down. You have to give yourself that time and to take each step that's appropriate for you in order to get to the lifestyle and the ultimate desired health that you want to be.
And I think that's a really important message for anything, not just with fitness, but even in becoming a healthier person, and as far as your thoughts and everything as well. I think it's like we all want to become like Dr. Puff and meditate an hour, 2 hours a day, but that's really hard for somebody who's never never done it before. So that's really, really great advice.
Thank you.
What about for people who are super busy? How do you fit that into their lives? If they want to start doing something, but they have an extremely busy schedule.
That's my specialty. So we work with people in their homes. In fact, I'm not against the gym. I'm just going to say that we prefer to give you the tools and education of how to work out when you're in your home. Because if I can teach you how to work out in this room and work your whole entire body out in your room, then you can do it no matter where you are. So if you're traveling or you're in a hotel room or you're outside, you have the same tools to use in your home as you would in a gym. And the mindset that gets people locked up is when they don't have the time. Like you said, they're too busy, so they can't get to the gym. So we end up teaching you exercise that you can use with just your body. Different kinds of isometric exercises, using your body weight as your weights, using tubing, using things that are portable, things that weigh like less than 5 pounds that you can take around with you and do anywhere you are.
That is such great advice, because going on vacation and going on trips, you can have a great exercise program if you're going to the gym and doing all those things. Or I even got some weights at home, but I didn't have them when I went on my trip, or I don't have them when I go on my trip. So to have some of those tools that you're talking about would be awesome and amazing to use.
Absolutely. I usually lose more weight when I go on vacation.
Well, I do too from all the walking, but
yeah, the walking, and then you're having a good time and you're sleeping well, but you actually have the time to focus on your exercise program.
You mentioned earlier about using your body weight as resistance. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Sure. When you're somewhere where you don't have a gym or piece of equipment, and even actually people that do have equipment, I like to take them off of the equipment, because actually getting the control and usage of your body and in relationship to using your own body as resistance is so important for agility, for balance training, for longevity, and to be able to come up with things when you don't have anything. So I know that a lot of people out there, you have nothing. You don't have a gym, you have no equipment, so you're asking, what can I do? And I've taken groups of like 500 men in certain companies here in America and done a 30-minute leg routine with no equipment. And they all sort of limped out of the room like, wow, that was the best workout I've ever had with no equipment. So if you can imagine, and I'm not going to stand up and show you, but lifting your leg up in the air straight, in ballet it's called a battement, but in physics terms and physiology terms and body mechanics, it's called hip flexion. So if I'm lifting my leg straight up, my quadricep, if you can imagine, this is my leg, this is my hip flexor, this is my quadricep. These muscles are working really hard to lift up the weight of my leg. So if you have a really long leg, that's going to be a hard exercise. If you have a shorter leg, it's not going to weigh as much as someone that has a longer lever, but then you can just do more repetitions. Or you can, add a heavier shoe so that you have a heavier piece of resistance on your leg. And the same thing works for your arms. Think of calisthenics, general calisthenics, so doing a push-up or a push-up against the wall, or lifting some cans of soup as bicep curls. I mean, anything that you have that weighs something.
I've actually thought about that before, but I thought maybe it wouldn't make a difference. I was like, what do I have?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. And there are actually, and you can use water. Water is another great thing. I know that people might not have access to a pool, but even going into a lake or an ocean or your bathtub, if you have a big enough bathtub, using the water as resistance for your upper body is great. So you do have tools, it's just how to use them.
That is so great to hear that. I mean, no more excuses of I don't have a gym membership or I don't have the tools. No more of that, huh?
Right. Oh, I don't work out in the gym. I work out at home or outside.
Wow. And I think it is hard getting there, and people have they're self-conscious sometimes about going to the gym, and being younger too. I can remember going to the gym and men sometimes are like staring at you and you're like, I didn't come here to get hit on or anything. I just want to work out, okay?
Exactly.
I'm all sweaty in my gym clothes.
Well, it's actually a false idea to think because you go to the gym that you're doing something right.
That's true.
Okay, because people go to the gym, I don't know if you noticed, and they look around and they spend a lot of time figuring out what to do next versus actually doing what they're supposed to be doing in a proper way that's going to have a good effect on their body.
JJ, can you tell us about the fitness programs that you've developed?
Sure. I have two main programs. One is called the 6-Week Beach Body, and the other one is called the 90-Day Health and Body Makeover Program. Now, I'd like to let you know that there's some free gifts for anyone that wants to try some of these products for free. You can go to 6weekbeachbody.com and download a lot of different hypnotherapy meditations that we use to help change people's minds, and that's what that program is really about. The 6-Week Beach Body is about healthy, fast, lasting weight loss in 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's really not about a complete transformation of losing like over 30 or 40 pounds. It's more like 5 to 20 pounds.
It's a little excessive in 6 weeks to lose that much weight anyway.
Yes, absolutely. So it's about 5 to 20 pounds if you have to lose in about 6 weeks, but to do it healthfully, quickly, but have it last because you're changing your programming in your mind. So there's a big mental piece to the 6-Week Beachbody program. And I also have the 90-Day Health and Body Makeover, which is a 3-month process of coaching. It's a one-on-one coaching program program. It also can be done on its own. You're welcome to do it on your own. And you can test it out with our 30-day Jumpstart program. And you can find that at invisiblefitness.com. It's free. It comes with some audios and a workbook for you to test out how well you want to follow a daily program and see what is the most important thing for you and to track it in 30 days. So it's a 30-day Jumpstart program at invisiblefitness.com.
Good. And do you have another website as well, or is that all your contact information?
Well, I am writing a book. It's called The Knack Absolute Abs, Routines for a Fit and Firm Core, and I'm in the process of writing it right now, and you can find that at jjsabbook.com. That's JJSABBOOK. And I'm blogging about the writing of a book since it's very interesting. This isn't just any book. This is a whole new format. But when the book comes out in December, it'll be available to you, and you're going to get to see behind the scenes as well as the things that I'm preparing. So I'm happy to share with you all the ab routines and the secrets and the tricks. So that's jjsabbook.com.
I can't wait to check that out. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Earlier I talked about my story with my cats, and you too may have a similar story where you, through your actions, have caused suffering, perhaps great suffering, to another living being. What do you do so it doesn't ruin your life and make your life just horrible? Because we're not here to have horrible lives. We make mistakes. Sometimes we make really big mistakes. And what we need to do, let me give some steps that I recommend when you do, or if you have made a mistake, if you've hurt someone, what to do. One is, do not be attacking yourself. It is not going to do you any good. You want to look at what you did and say, I'm really sorry, and be sorry for what you did. But attacking yourself, beating yourself up is really unhealthy. Instead, make sure you share it with someone. Have one person on the planet that will not attack you, that will love you and care for you and not judge you. Share it with them. Tell them what you've done. It's not good to have secrets. Secrets eat us alive. Share it with someone. Write it down and share it with someone. And the person that is still alive, if it's possible to make amends, great. Often, if you really hurt someone, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to hear from you again. So make sure you give them their space and don't go after them. But there are lots of other people out there that may have had similar experiences to them. So instead of trying to make amends to that person, like I did with my cats, I couldn't love them. I couldn't give to them. But for years, throughout my life, I've always loved animals, stray animals. I've worked at shelters. Give your time, give your money, give your love, and share that with others, because what that will do is it will help your heart to heal. And if you don't heal your heart, it's really like having a horrible poison inside of you. If you don't get that poison out of you, it will eat you alive. It's probably the number one thing that destroys people's lives. It really isn't what happened to you that messes you up in your life and makes your life tragic. It's far more what you've done with that. So a lot of people I know, when they drink, they make very poor choices. And it's important when you make those poor choices that you work towards healing it. And the biggest person to heal it with is yourself. Because that self-blame, that self-attack will just take its toll on you and really will destroy your life. So you won't be able to help other people. It's really through my own suffering that now I'm able to want to reach out and help other people around the world. And you too can give back. And if you give back with your heart, you give back fully and throughout the world as much as you can, you'll find that even the great wound or wounds that you cause others can heal. Peace.
This week's second question comes to us from Phil S. in South Africa. When I was younger, I was very creative and able to draw and paint using only my imagination. I want to get back into that place, but can't seem to get there. I've taken art classes, but even this isn't working. I have some sort of block. What can I do to unlock this block?
Phil, I'm going to send you on a quest. What I mean by that is, inside of you, that artistic, natural part of you is who you are. But along life's course, you've lost that. Something has happened that is keeping you from being in touch with that creative, childlike approach to life. And what I want you to do is examine your life and say, what happened? What are the impediments that have gotten in the way that are keeping me being artistic, keeping me from flowing naturally? We get what I call hits in life. And those hits, if we heal them, we move forward and we stay healthy, we stay vibrant, we stay artistic. But if we Don't deal with those hits, those traumas, those things that set us back. Maybe it's someone was mean to us, or we had something happen to us that caused us a lot of trauma. Then we emotionally get stifled. And if you take time and say, okay, I need to heal from this. I need to undo this. I have these cuts on my body that are infected. I need to wash them out and heal them. What you'll find is if you do that, you'll get back to that artistic, childlike, artistic side of you and find yourself being able to go there again. So the blocks are there to help you move forward. Unravel them, and you'll find you'll get better.
Phil, I love this question. I'm all about using art for creativity and for healing. In fact, I actually earned a degree from a place that was called Art and Creativity for Healing. And I think that part of what gets in the way as well is not only those things that Dr. Puff was talking about, but this up here, that part that says, oh, what am I doing? What is that I'm drawing? This doesn't look right. This looks wrong. You need to stop that. Just let flow whatever comes out of you and don't judge. You may have a canvas filled with black and it may be smudged and whatever, but that's part of your processing of what needs to come out first. There may be layers of stuff, of processing of emotion that needs to come out. And if you look back to when you were a child, most children will start drawing stuff about what's going on in their life. If they're feeling angry, they'll pick a dark color maybe and just scribble on the page, and that's an outlet. And perhaps for you, you would draw different things, and maybe the things that you were drawing were reflective of what was going on in your life. So be easy and gentle on yourself and let whatever needs to come out, and you'll be surprised that that artistic, wonderful part of you will start to come out again.
And I really want to capitalize on what Elizabeth said, is you can use your art to actually heal, to find out what the blocks are and get well and be healthy. So tap into that and be healthy.
And be creative too. Thank you for your question. This week's quote is by Thomas Henry Huxley. Do what you can to do what you ought and leave hoping and fearing alone. That message is really about letting go of fear and desire and living in the present moment. Peace. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Holistic Success Show. Please check out our Meditation for Health podcast available on our website and iTunes.
And if you'd like to be a partner with us on our show, please visit our website to learn more about that.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.